Okay. Hi guys, we will now discuss notes receivable which are non-interest bearing with equal installment collections. So we have this problem on January 1, 20X1, ABC Corporation sold land with a cost of 2,500,000 pesos in exchange for a non-interest bearing note of 3 million pesos due in 3 equal annual installments starting December 31, 20X1 and every December 31 thereafter. The prevailing rate of interest for this kind of note is 12%. So what kind of note is this? This is a non-interest bearing note. What do we mean if the note is a non-interest bearing note? Ibig sabihin, wala siyang stated interest. That's number one. Wala siyang stated interest sa note. And secondly, the interest is implied. So if it is a non-interest bearing note, ang interest kasama na sa 3 million pesos. So that is why this is a non-interest bearing note. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, ang interest kasama na sa 3 million pesos. And then, how about the collection of the principal? The collection of the principal is in 3 equal installments. So, equal installments to. What does it mean? Every year, there will be a collection of 1 million pesos. Kasi yung 3 million, you will divide this into 3 equal annual installments. So this is an installment collection. And then second thing that is also important. When is the first collection? The first collection will start on December 31, 20X1. So sa December 31, 20X1, magsisimula ang first collection ng principal, which is 1 year from January 1, 20X1. So ano pa? 1 year from now pa ang first collection ng principal or ng installment. December 31 pa. So may isang taon pa before the first collection. So the question is, why is it important to assess, especially for installment collections, kung kailan ang first collection? Why is it important to assess kung kailan ang first collection? This will matter in computing for the present value. Malalaman nyo na ang timing ng first collection, magmamatter yan sa pag-compute ng present value. And then, another thing is, the prevailing rate of interest for this kind of note is 12%. What does it mean? The market rate or the effective rate of the note is 12%. Pag sinabi nating prevailing rate, in other words, we're talking about the market rate. So therefore, for the purposes of computing the present value, what rate will we use to discount or to find the present value of the note? We will be using the 12%. We will be using the 12%. So what is the first step in this kind of problems? The first step is to find the present value. So I will emphasize. The first installment is due 1 year from now. The first installment is due 1 year from now. So what formula will we use? We will use ordinary annuity. Okay. We will be using the ordinary annuity formula in computing for the present value. Why do we use the ordinary annuity? Kasi kailan ang first collection? The first collection will happen at the end of the period. So because of that, we will be using ordinary annuity. And why are we using annuity? Bakit annuity formula ang ginagamit natin? Kasi equal installments equal installments. So equal cash inflows for every year. So since equal ang installments, we will be using annuity formula. And what annuity formula will we use? We will use the ordinary annuity kasi ang cash flow, it will be due at the end of the period. So that's it. How much is the annual installment? So for every year, we will be collecting 1 million pesos every year. So we will be collecting 1 million pesos every year. So what is the formula? So 1 million pesos times 1 minus 1.12, open and close parenthesis, raised to negative 3, divided by 0.12. So this is the ordinary annuity formula. And what answer do we expect? Or what is the PV factor that we expect? So if you compute this, you will arrive at a PV factor of 2.401831. So ang gagawin natin, ang PV factor na 2.401831, i-multiply natin sa 1 million pesos. So therefore, the present value is 2,401,831. So this is the present value of the note. 2,401,831. And then, the next thing that we will do is we will now create an amortization table. Okay. If it is an installment collection of the principal, what do we expect? We expect that at the end of the period or at the due date of the note, the present value is already 0. So if you can observe, if it is an installment of principal or pag installment ang collection rather ng principal, at the end of the due date or at the end of the term, the present value will be equal to 0. So pababa siya ng pababa. The question is, bakit ganun? Bakit pag installment payment, pag installment collections rather, bakit pababa ng pababa ang present value? It is because year after year, we will be collecting a part of the principal. So syempre, yung principal, year after year, nababawasan siya. Kasi nga, year after year or yearly, nagko-collect tayo ng part ng principal. So since we are collecting a part of the principal every year, the present value decreases. Nababawasan ang present value as we collect the installment collections. So, anong gagawin natin pag installment siya? So, let's have the present value. 2,401,831. So, the first concern is, how do we compute for the interest income? So, again, based sa first video natin sa lump sum, non-interest bearing note, interest income can be computed by multiplying the present value of the note times effective rate. So what we will do is, 2,401,831 times 12%, the interest income is expected to be 288,220. And then, the difference between the collection and the interest income will be the amortization. So, ang gagawin natin dito, we will deduct collections minus interest income. So, how much is the amortization? The amortization is 711,780 pesos. And anong gagawin natin sa amortization? We will deduct it from the present value. So try to compute this. 2,401,831 minus 711,780. Our present value for December 31, 20X1 is 1,690,051. So, take note ng amortization, it decreases the present value. So, binabawasan niya ang present value. And again, for 20X2, how can we compute for the interest income? 1,690,051 times 12%. So the answer will be 202,806. And then, ang effect, yung 202,806, we will deduct this from the collection. So how much is the amortization? 797,194. And then yung 797,194, we will deduct it from 1,690,051. So the answer will be 892,857. And then for 20X3, so the same lang, 892,857 times 12%, we will arrive at 107,143. And then, we will deduct 1 million pesos minus 107,143. So the amortization is 892,857. So, when we deduct 892,857 to the same amount, so the present value by December 31, 20X3 becomes 0. So again, if it is an installment payment of principal at the end of the term or at the due date or at the end of the term, the present value will be equal to 0. So that is the implication in the amortization table. So that's it. Let's now go to the journal entries. Okay, so for the journal entries, debit note receivable. So again, note receivable is at face amount, which is 3 million pesos. And then credit land. How much is the cost of land? It's 2.5 million pesos. And then, eto, unearned interest income. So how did we compute for the unearned interest income in the journal entries? So it's the difference between the face amount, which is 3 million pesos, minus the present value of the note, which is 2,401,831, based on the amortization table. So kung magkano yung difference ng dalawa, that will be the unearned interest income, which is 598,169. And then next, hindi magbabalance ang debit at credit. So what is the squeeze account that will balance the debit and the credit? Loss on sale of land na nasa debit side, 98,169 pesos. So, ano to? Bakit loss? Kasi, how much is the cost of land that you sold? The cost of the land that you sold is 2.5 million pesos. However, how much is the consideration that you receive from selling the land? It's 2,401,831. So therefore, lugi ka. Kasi ang give up mo, 2.5 million, pero the consideration that you receive is only 2,401,831. So therefore, this is a loss on sale of land, 98,169. So that is for January 1, 20X1. And then next. Okay. For December 31, 20X1, there will be two journal entries. There will be two journal entries on December 31, 20X1. So first is ito. Debit unearned interest income, credit interest income. So bakit natin dinebit ang unearned interest income? Kasi na-earn mo na siya. The interest has been earned already on December 31, 20X1. And because of that, we will be crediting interest income 228,220. Kasi na-earn mo na siya eh. Kaya magre-recognize tayo ng interest income. And then, kailan ang first collection ng installment? Or kailan ang first installment collection with regards to the principal? December 31, 20X1. So because of that, debit cash, 1 million pesos, credit note receivable, 1 million pesos. Kasi may nakolekta ka ng 1 million. May nakolekta ka ng 1 million pesos. So that is for December 31, 20X1. And then, again, for 20X2, again, two journal entries. So for December 31, 20X2, debit and earned interest income, 202,806, credit interest income. So again, bakit tayo nag-debit ng unearned interest income? Kasi na-earn na natin siya. So that's why for 20X2, we will credit interest income. Kasi na-earn mo na siya during 20X2. And then, for December 31, 20X2 din, the same journal entry. Kasi for 20X2, nakatanggap ka na naman ng installment collection. So you collected 1 million pesos during 20X2. So because of that, debit cash, 1 million pesos, credit note receivable, 1 million pesos. Kasi you collected the installment. And then for 20X3, the same na naman. Debit and earned interest income, 107,143. And then credit interest income, 107,143. This signifies that you earned interest income of 107,000 143. And then finally, so this is the last installment collection. This is the last installment collection. So we will debit cash 1 million pesos, credit note receivable 1 million pesos. So these are the journal entries for non-interest bearing equal installments, and the first collection will happen at the end of the period. Okay. Another concern. Let's try to look here sa December 31, 20x1. As of December 31, 20x1, how much is the present value? The present value is 1,690,051. So this is the present value as of December 31, 20x1. So why am I emphasizing this date? Kasi how do we present the 1,690,051 in the financial statements? So paano natin to i-present? Ang 1,690,051. So ganito. Pag mga notes or pag mga loans, especially pag installment siya, installment collection, kailangan natin i-segregate ang current portion pati ang non-current portion. So we need to segregate magkano ba yung current, magkano ba yung non-current portion. Why is this important? Kasi remember, yung 1,690,051, there is a part here that will be due on December 20x2. May part dito na magiging due sa December 31, 20x2. Meron namang part na due December 31, 20x3 pa. So may part siya na current. Ano yung current portion? Yung magiging due sa December 31, 20x2. So this is the current portion. And then the non-current portion naman is yung magiging due sa 20x3 pa. Sa December 31, 20x3 pa. So the question is, how much is the current portion? How much is the non-current portion? Okay, ganito siya. Ang amortization na 797,194 sa December 31, 20x2, this will be our current portion. This will be our current portion. Kung magkano ang due sa December 31 or kung magkano yung amortization sa December 31, 20x2, which is 797,194, this will be the current portion. And then, the remaining part, which is 892,857, this will be presented in the non-current portion of the asset section. So yung 892,857, this is the non-current portion. Why is this a non-current portion? Yung 892,857. Kasi kailan siya magiging due? Magiging due pa siya sa 20x3. So this is still non-current as of 20x1 or as of December 31, 20x1, the 892,857 is a non-current portion. So that's it for current and non-current portion. So I want to emphasize na pag i-add natin ang 797,194, which is the current portion, plus 892,857, which is the non-current portion, it will still be, the sum will still be 1,690,051. So, ano siya? Correct talaga siya na ito talaga yung mga amounts. Kasi pag i-add mo yan, the answer will be ito. 1,690,051. Okay? So that's it for non-interest bearing notes, which are collectible in installments. And the first installment collection will happen a year after. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening.